explain, I want to spend this much, and the return on investment will be this much. And last year it was practically very crazy for our industry. And that's why a lot in our industry just backed off. Particularly, you're very right, the first 10 days, you had to watch what's happening, where in this fragmentation will you put your money. And that basically you'll find a lot of strategies last year going towards the second 2 weeks of Ramadan. I hope I addressed the second part. The first part of your question, which was when does it work exactly and when does it not work? From our experience, it does not. You have to look at three variables. First of all, your competition. What your competition is doing exactly, and this is very important. And second, the positioning of your brand. The positioning of your brand, if it's integral, as I explained, to have the image of being the leader in your category, that's very important. And the third part is, do you have the execution, the right execution to air during Ramadan? Because if you have an old execution for the ad, if you don't have something up to what the rest of the industry is airing, you have a lot of, as you explained, ego advertising with a lot of celebrities and a lot of very high executions. If you don't have the right execution for Ramadan, if you don't have the right budget, just don't do it. And we have learned it the hard way. Thank you.
Thank you very
much. I'd like to add to what Ismail was saying. The fact is, audience in Ramadan are typically looking for something new. I mean, if you have new content, be it in the drama, be it in the advertising has been seen for so many. Traditionally in this market, advertising is seen as entertainment, and more so in Ramadan. You've already said the industry has set the expectation that in Ramadan people are really looking for entertaining advertising. Now it's a question of, can companies afford to entertain as opposed to advertise and build awareness and go for a hard sell? And I think this is really what finally makes you take the call. Are you in a position to entertain this Ramadan because you have the budget? And obviously it does have its impact on your brand image. But at times, if you really want to say something, if you have something new to say, then Ramadan is definitely the time to say it. Otherwise, it's a show of muscle, I believe.
Wallahi, Hiba, and I was about to ask you specifically about this Ramadan concerning the new copies and budgets, because of course we know that we were all affected by the revolution in a way or another. So for your position, for instance, would you go for old copies, airing old copies in Ramadan 2011, or what would you do in terms of budget constraints and so on?
I think knowing, as I've just explained, knowing the way that the industry has built the aura of Ramadan and Ramadan advertising, it doesn't look very wise to try and air a copy that you just aired last year. It's against the expectations of the audience, okay? In that case, advertisers would be better off using other forms of communication vehicles to be able to take their message forward. But airing an old copy, especially now more than ever, audience is expecting new. New is the name of the game. They expect new every day, okay, not only every Ramadan. So it's very compromising to your brand, I would imagine, to go ahead with an old copy.
How about you, Reem?
Well, I'm in a lucky position because all our campaigns are pretty new. We've been off air for quite a long time. We just went back on air with most of our brands starting June. So I think it's a good position to start the season with. We have a lot of brands that are seasonal, so we've got our yogurt, which is very much focused on the month of Ramadan. Raib, the same. We have the juice category, which is very focused on the summer, and this is where the criticality is, because this year we have a combination of Ramadan and summer, and that makes it really a big challenge from a media standpoint and from investment standpoint. Specifically, that we have, for the first time, different brands on the juice category advertising different campaigns. So it becomes more or less a challenge internally before externally, because within the juice industry, the segment is quite dormant, and Juhayna is by far the most active category or brands when it comes to that industry. So this year, we expect a good summer. We don't know yet about Ramadan. I think going back to your point of the dormancy that we have seen last year in the first 10 days of the month, I do not expect that this year is going to be different, because at least last year it was drama focused. This year we expect more of a split between drama and programs, given the political situation, given the time of the trials and all the expectation during the month of Ramadan. So it's going to be even tougher to place your advertising in the segments that you would expect to get the highest return on investment on. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. And actually, I would like to, mentioning the tough jobs, I believe that this year also we're experiencing new TV channels that has been launched and are about to be launched before the beginning of Ramadan, and we're honored to have some of the owners among our audience today. So I would like to ask also all of you actually, how would this affect your choices and your decisions for the coming Ramadan, the new channels versus the old channels that we used to have, the new players that we are witnessing, the absence of Sot al-Qahira and so on, as well as maybe the change of the mood of Egyptians, because I keep on wondering, what are Egyptians expecting for the coming Ramadan? Are they expecting the same style of Arabic series, Zara وولادها وجوازها الخمسة ومش عارف ايه وبتاع? Are they mentally prepared and emotionally prepared to see something like this or not, and so on? So what kind of choices that you are about to make for next Ramadan in light of all those variables?
Let me say, more channels means bad news for us. More channels, more fragmentation. That's not. I'm sorry for the owners, of course, but it's not an easy investment given all the fragmentation. I can only speak for our target audience. What we expect, what we've seen from mainly our target audience are ladies.